낡은 일기장 먼지를 털어내 문득 펼친 곳 그 속엔 해맑게 네가 있어 아직 넌 그대로 여기 남아있어.
A very warm welcome to another episode of Special Talks. Hashtag exclusive talks. Today we have Miss Neha Mittal with us, a person who is very much into extracurricular activities. She has pursued her BCom honors from Bharati College, Delhi University, same as me. So, the main thing for which I've invited her is because she is too much into extracurricular activities. Balancing studies with other activities is so much important in today's life where you have got to do multitasking in every field of your life. So, we have Ms. Neha Mittal for us today to enlighten us on the process of how you can manage your life with other activities or things that you can do. She will help us to guide us on the multitasking. So, without further ado, let's introduce Ms. Neha Mittal.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
So, as Shriti told, I was a student of BCom Honors from Bharati College, University of Delhi. Today, we are talking about extracurricular activities. Yeah, like Shriti said, that I was an active member in many societies and have worked in many other competitions and participated in many other things. So, it's not like I will guide you, but yeah, I can give you an insight that how things work and how things can be managed when you are involved in too many things. So I think you can have an idea that how you can manage and take decisions accordingly in your college or school life.
So, let's talk about her experience and how and what she had done so far. She was an active member of the NSS for like 2 years of a college life and being in a very prominent position. She was also in the Children Society, which is a dramatic society of Delhi University, as a core member and also the vice president of the society for 1 year. And the whole duration of a Children Society was 3 years. Also, she was not only restricted to these two societies but also part of many other societies as well, participating and organizing events for all of those, organizing seminars and speakers for them. And and she was one of those person you can always look upon for any kind of help and things. She was too busy, but she was always free for you. So, Miss Neha, how did you manage your time and like how did you cope up with all of these things together? What was your mantra for multitasking?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Shriti, for such an insightful intro and beautiful intro. And you have asked me like, how did I manage? So while I was taking admissions in the college, I was already planning that I want to take participate in lots and lots of societies and other events and tests and competition as much as I can. So the first thing I did was to give auditions for everything that I came across with, despite I was interested in it or not. So that was the first thing, and I faced many rejections, obviously, because I was not much prepared or I was not qualified for that position. So that was the first thing, and I selected in two major positions. So first was NSS, National Service Scheme, NSS Bharati College, and second was Tillman, the Theatre Society of Bharati College. So these are the two prominent societies that was I was an active member. So NSS is more of a volunteering sort of institute. So in that you have to volunteer for the community, for the society, and you participate among many events that are organized under it. And in total, you have to devote 240 hours volunteering hours in the span of 2 years. So 120 each year, and that's how you complete both the years. And for theater, yeah, theater is very vast. So you have to be an active member. You have to regularly participate in the sessions, practice regularly. And in our society, we work on, we have two major focus. First is an annual production that is formed from scratch from our side. Either we pick a self-written play, or we pick a play that is written by a prominent writer. So that's how things start. And when you ask me how did I manage, so it was very difficult. So you are almost every day occupied with multiple things, because we have Tillman sessions for every day, at least 2 hours. And during tests or competitions, that span increases. Further, you have regular classes for all your subjects. You have tests, you have other things. And in the NSS, there are many activities and events. Yeah, that are outside college. So most of the time we went to those activities and missed the college altogether. So that's how things become a lot more challenging when you are involved in so many things. So that's why when someone asks me now, so what societies I should participate in, so first and the foremost thing is you have to keep a balance between all the things. So plan before joining, and keep your interest as a priority. So in the things or activities you are interested, keep them in priority. Prepare for the auditions for all the activities and challenges that the society introduced to you, and give your best. And yeah, like I said, there will be many rejections, and you might become a member of some society. The other thing is that while being a part of that society, one cannot like forget about other things. So because the first and the foremost thing when you take admission in any college was to give priority to your studies. So many a times when we take part in societies and other cultural activities, so studies is something that lack very much. So you need to keep a balance. You have to set boundaries that this is my studying time and I cannot give it to any other activity. Extracurricular activities are also important, but yeah, you have to keep studies as your priority.
So how did you manage to keep your studies as a priority? Like, since our classes used to happen from 9 to 5, so it was a completely packed day with only half an hour, I guess, for the lunch period. And in that lunch period, we cannot do all the things. I think that doing a Chilman with the NS, since NSS was a 240 hours thing, and events used to crop up any time of the day, means there was no particular plan of the day ki this event will come at this point of time, because we also had slum visits. We also had other activities to plan, some seminars, some important lectures, which used to crop up at any point of time. So keeping that with studies, with 9 to 5 session, and with also children 2 hours specially given every day to children society. How did you manage answer? Now I would like to ask Neha, how did you manage your studies in prioritization with the other activities? Like how did you made up the balance? Ki the way of studies is more important, and extracurricular activities, other things were not that important, though they are important for people who have a passion for it, and no doubt you had such. But currently my question is, how did you prioritize studies over other extracurricular activities?
Okay, that is very important, Shriti. As you said that studies is what we came to college. So it is very important that we prioritize our studies over everything. So I literally struggled in my first year where I prioritized other things over studies and faced consequences in my exams. So code less, and so that's how things work. You have to set boundaries when you are involved in multiple things and prioritize something that is important. And that is what I learned in my first year and applied in my second year. So for that, I suggest that you have to set your boundaries. So you have a good communication is the first thing that you require. So you have to communicate with your teachers that this is the time period that you will be unable to attend the classes, and you have to manage your attendance. You have to contact your societies that these are the time period that I have my classes, when the session or any activity or event take place, and you have to provide me attendance for that period. So these are the things that you do for attendance, because there are minimum requirement of attendance in every institute that you have to fulfill, like 75% is the minimum requirement. So that is the first thing, attendance. Then the session that you have missed, the class that you have missed, so you either have to take notes from your friends, or you have to study in extra hours the things that you have missed, and further practice it yourself. So that's how things turn difficult. You have to do extra work with extra activities also. And when we involve ourselves in more than one thing, so obviously our schedule is messed up. We are always occupied. We are always tired. And the other thing is prioritize yourself over anything. So to give yourself time is most important. You have to keep a check on your health. You have to keep a check on your mental well-being. You have to keep yourself sane so that you can do your best in all other activities.
So you're saying that you need
to... Your turn now. You are also involved in many cultural events in society. So how was your experience?
Well, I was involved in some of the activities. Like I was involved in the Women Development Cell, the Commerce Society, and a small part of the NSS team as well. Over my during my first year of Delhi University, Bharati College, I was part of 3 societies, and that too I was an active member of. I received certificates after the end of the tenures. So to put it all through, how did I manage my studies? And my studies did not include only the college studies, but it also included my coaching timings as well, because I had my CA Foundation exams during the same period, and I cleared the CA Foundation in first attempt as well. So with all the 3 societies and with the college and with the CA Foundation, okay, so you can count me in for this talk. So how did I manage my time? So the question is not how did I manage my time, but what was the time gap or time duration which I set my boundaries for. As I said, setting boundaries is quite important and very important as per my case. So my classes used to start at 6 a.m. in the morning. Early morning, I used to go to the coaching center, get my studies, everything packed up. So I need to wake up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. waking up, 6 a.m. To the coaching, and 6 to 9 my first class used to happen. Then 9 to 2 I used to go to the college, attend all the classes. After 2 o'clock I used to miss the classes. I talked with the teachers to give or covered my content, so they were quite generous to me, and especially miss Miss Vandana ma'am was very generous to me. She always gave me a little time, extra time to get me in the class, or whenever I was late, she would always give me a little attendance. So I would like to thank her very much for this. I might send this video to her as well. And after that, after 2 o'clock, I used to go back to my coaching. Yeah. So after
I
2
must
o'clock, I
say
used.
that I'm sorry to disturb you, Shriti.
Yeah.
We can cut this part.
So after 2 o'clock, I used to go back to my coaching, and then from there, I used to come around at 8 o'clock. My classes used to get over. After 8 o'clock, I used to board a bus, and sometimes the bus didn't used to come, so it used to take me 10 o'clock. Till 10 o'clock, I used to reach home, then have my dinner, talk with my parents, get back to self study. So 11 o'clock was time when I sat for self study, and what I did was a little revision of the notes, doing the homework. That was the only part that I did. Was able to do till 12 or 1 o'clock. I used to sleep, and then 5 a.m. again wake up. So that was a hectic schedule for coaching and for classes only. For activities, for extracurricular activities, for my society's participation as a society member, I used to use that 9 to 2 wala time only. If there is an event between 9 to 2, I used to definitely attend it. If there was no event, used to study in that time at all costs. Even during the classes or during the free times that we had, Neha can almost connect to it. Ki I used to sit there wherever I could find a seat and would read the books which I had in my bag, and my bag used to be very heavy. So I prefer not to share my bag or my load with anyone. So that was all I could do. And managing time was not so difficult if you go in the flow. It's not that difficult, but it's just that you need to go in the flow. You have to understand what is important at what time and in what quantity. That's it. So Neha, you turn the table to me. Now the
Great,
question comes back to
great.
you. So how, since you manage studies, do you get some time for self studies as well?
Yeah, I used to manage some time at least, because that is very important something for my hobbies. Because after a hectic day, you go back to yourself, your hobbies, to make yourself relax, to keep yourself sane, and that's where hobbies comes in. So something, anything that you like to do to relax yourself, that works for me. So my hobby was cooking. So I used to cook something, like for dinner I'm cooking something, or just listening some music, that is very helpful, and that is something that I do for myself, and I really like to cherish that time.
Okay, so do you like reading books as well? I remember during my college days, I used to go to the library every time I get a free period and used to sit with the books, and not the course books, mind you. I used to go with the novels that I could find anywhere and would sit with it in a corner in the library and just read it. So, what was your favorite book? Or I saw you reading books.
Uh, Not particularly books, yeah, but I was a member of theatre, so most of the time I'm reading my script, or uh, a novel that is that the play is based on. So that's how things work. Because uh, one thing is in theatre, that every time you read a script or the narration of a play, you learn something new. You learn something about the character. You learn something about your character, or any particular detail in the play. So as many times as you read it, you learn something new.
Neha, I would like to ask you this one question. Whatever certificates we get from extracurricular activities, from the events, from the seminars, from all the events that we do participate in, volunteer for, what is the importance of those certificates? Where are they used, or do they really get us jobs, admissions, or a edge over others? Certification specifically.
Okay, when we talk about certification, so more than certification, your experiences and what you have learned from that extracurricular activities is what matters most. The second thing is, when you mention something, some of your extra events in your resume, it definitely a plus point for your interviews, that you are involved in many activities and not just in your studies. So it adds to a bonus. Thirdly, credit, because many of the colleges run on credit. So you have many credits when you take part in extracurricular activities. So that is also a plus point in that situation. Further, like I was a member of theatre society. So when I again want to work in the field of theatre, then I can tell them that I have this certification. I've completed 3 years in my college. Like currently, I'm doing a workshop with one of the theatre societies and private institutions. So that's where things work, that I have already was an active member in my college. So it gives you an experience that you can use anywhere. It's your skill. It's some skill that you have learned as an extracurricular activity. We also have ECA, extracurricular activities in college admissions. So that is also one of your added bonus for Delhi University, Merit, both in schools, after schools, in colleges also. They take ECA as a proper admission criteria. So it will be helpful in that sector also.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for clearing this up. So, being in extracurricular activities give you an extra insight into things that happen around you. That gives you a extra edge to get over your peers. So I think extracurricular activities must have helped you a lot in your life. So how did you extracurricular activities help you in your life?
Definitely, Shriti. That is the first thing that I planned to join. I have planned to join societies, because I was a very shy person in school. So uh, in college, I want to change that. I want to socialize further. I want to be out of my comfort zone. And when you take part in societies, first thing is that you connect with more people, and you take participate in activities. You get out of your comfort zone. You interact. So the two most important things that it do is that you became a multitasker. Now, multitasker, because you have your studies, you have other activities to do. Secondly, it boosts your confidence very much, and build your personality, and create a leader in you. It build a leader in you, because uh, in my second year, it was the most hectic year in my 3 years of life, because uh, third year was hindered by COVID. So second year was the most fruitful year of my life. I was uh, in a major position in NSS. I was managing most of the events uh, by myself, and in theater also I was working and as a uh, actor in one of my plays as a major position, and I was a senior also. So managing the team was also a part. So a lot of things I learned: people management, leadership skills, communication, how to handle any situation, how to deal with stress, and other things. So that's where you groom yourself. You learn a lot of things, and that's how it works. So when you take part in extracurricular activities, you work on yourself on multiple factors at the same time, and you grow multiple times.
So there is sufficient growth, and more growth is to come. We grow every day, every minute, 1%, 0.1%, 0.001%. That is enough for us to sustain a living, and to in, satisfaction is just a small part. The major part is delight. We should always get delight from what we do. Passion is something which we can achieve at whatever stage we want. But for that, we need to build our base, and that base is built by extra things that we do every day. A passion may be to become someone, to be like someone, but the major thing is that you know how to become that someone with what you have today. In short, I want to say that if you have found your passion, if you have found that you have to do a particular thing, then start making efforts from today, because today is the day you have to begin. Today is the day you have to have for all the things. Multitasking is not a myth, it is a reality, and you can make that reality a truth if you work it your way. There is no secret mantra to it. There is only you working towards it, and with no other restrictions in mind, no distraction. If you have set your mind to it, you can definitely do it. Any final word to it, Neha?
You represented it beautifully. So to everyone who will watch this video, I have one particular thing to say. So when you opt for extracurricular activity, go for it. Just manage your time properly. Invest your time in that activity, and you will achieve something in that too. Like I have performed in many fests, many competitions, took part in many cultural events. So go for it and give your best towards, and try to handle everything that you opt for. All the best.
All the best. Thank you.
Oh, 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 oh.